In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 spiritual leaders around the world. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. People have been finding and following the teachings of spiritual leaders for as long as the world has been around. We read their books, we hear their words, we choose to believe bits and pieces of their messages to formulate our very own spiritual life. We've compiled, somewhat subjectively, our list of spiritual leaders who are shaping the minds and spirits of our time. To take Buddha and Confucius off the table, we're going to focus on spiritual leaders living today. Here are the 10 most influential spiritual leaders around the world. Number 10. Deepak Chopra. This Indian-American, Ayurvedic New Age guru flew onto the New York Times top -10 bestsellers list with the 7 spiritual laws of success, where he outlines a simple set of guidelines focused on making you a better human being. He established the Chopra Foundation in hopes of educating the world about mind-body spiritual healing. Chopra believes that a person may attain perfect health, a condition that is free from disease that never feels pain, and that cannot age or die. Seeing the human body as undergirded by a quantum mechanical body, composed not of matter, but of energy and information, he believes that human aging is fluid and changeable. It can speed up, slow down, stop for a time, and even reverse itself, as determined by one's state of mind. He claims that his practices can also treat chronic disease. Number 9. The Dalai Lama. Tenzin Gyatso is the 14th Dalai Lama, believed to be the reincarnation of the Buddha of compassion, and those who have held the Dalai Lama title before him. At 78 years old, he still travels the world constantly, spreading the Buddhist and Elvis Costello's beliefs in peace, love and understanding. During the 1959 Tibetan uprising, the Dalai Lama escaped to India, where he currently lives in exile while remaining the most important spiritual leader of Tibet. The Dalai Lama advocates for the welfare of Tibetans, while continuing to call for the middle way approach to negotiations with China for the autonomy of Tibet, and the protection of Tibetan culture, including for the religious rights of Tibetans. Number 8. Paulo Coelho. His spiritual books have sold over 150 million copies in over 150 countries. The Alchemist is one of the top-selling books ever. The easy readability of his books has allowed a much broader audience to hear his spiritual messages and incorporate them into their own lives. Number 7. Pope Francis. Throughout his public life, Pope Francis has been noted for his humility, emphasis on God's mercy, international visibility as Pope, concern for the poor and commitment to interreligious dialogue. He is credited with having a less formal approach to the papacy than his predecessors, for instance choosing to reside in the Domus Sanctae Marthae guesthouse rather than in the papal apartments of the Apostolic Palace used by previous popes. This ex-nightclub bouncer has nearly tripled the attendance of events in Vatican City in less than a year. Whether you agree with the Catholic message or not, this 226th pope is turning the image of the Catholic Church around in a most positive way for the entire world. Number 6. Thich Nyat Han. This Vietnamese Buddhist Zen master put in unrelenting time to reconcile North and South Vietnam during the Vietnamese War. At 89 years young, he is still touring the world, writing books, and leading retreats on the art of mindful living. NHTHNH has published over 130 books, including more than 100 in English, which have sold over 5 million worldwide. He is active in the peace movement and deep ecology, promoting nonviolent solutions to conflict, and raising awareness of the interconnectedness of all elements in nature. He is the founder of the largest monastic order in the West. He also refrains from consuming animal products, as a means of nonviolence toward animals. Number 5. Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now and A New Earth are 2 of the best-selling spiritual books in the world. He has set down his profound spiritual messages of transforming the human consciousness in such a user-friendly way that anyone with a desire to progress down a personal spiritual path can easily grasp his concepts and make them their own. Tolle said he was depressed for much of his life until age 29, when he experienced an inner transformation. He then spent several years wandering in a state of deep bliss before becoming a spiritual teacher. He moved to Vancouver, British Columbia in 1995, and currently divides his time between Canada and California. He began writing his first book, The Power of Now, in 1997, and it reached the New York Times bestseller list in 2000. Number 4. James Redfield. The Celestine prophecy helped pave the way for a new generation of soul seekers to set off on their path of spiritual awakening. The unveiling of the 9 simple insights throughout the book allows for each person to travel with the narrator and discover how these insights play a key role in their own lives. He was son of Luther Redfield and was born in Clyde, New York, March 27, 1824. He graduated from Yale College in 1845. After leaving college he studied law in his native place, was elected county school commissioner, and finally accepted a position at Albany, New York in the office of Hon. Christopher Morgan, Secretary of State of New York. Number 3. Samuel I. Olekanma. Possessing a love for humanity that inspired his desire to positively impact the world, Samuel Izuchukwu Olekanma, the founder of Mbaise Association, serves as a visionary, aesthetic writer, spiritual leader, and correctional officer. Born and raised in South Africa, the eldest of 5 children born to Nigerian parents, Chief Maxwell Olekanma and Madam Lucy Olekanma, Samuel spent his early childhood attending the town school, Omakwu Onitsha Mbaise. An intelligent young man in all aspects, he would become the recipient of the Best Student of the Year award, 6 years consecutively during his primary education. Moving on to secondary school, he attended Onitsha Zini Hiti Mbaise, before then becoming a student at Emmanuel College, where he completed senior high school. Carrying his academics with him, and with dreams of increasing his opportunities, he relocated to the United States. Sadly, it was during this time, in 1998, that he received word of his beloved mother's passing. Knowing that poverty was the biggest contributing factor to his mother's death, Samuel committed himself to remaining financially stable. Following this commitment, and inspired by his father's longtime position as a correctional officer in Nigeria, he too gained the same role, which would go on to last for over 15 years. Throughout those years, serving the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, he dedicated himself to every responsibility of his position, never becoming daunted by its seriousness or dangers, and remaining focused on aiding the reform of his fellow community members. Samuel survived an assassination attempt on his life about 1 year ago. This incident changed his life tremendously. Number 2. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. His Art of Living Foundation launched the NONVIO movement in 2013, calling for individuals to pledge one act of nonviolence through any of the various social media outlets. As a humanitarian and ambassador of peace, he has united millions of people throughout the world with service projects and courses focusing on a stress-free and violence-free society. Number 1. Rhonda Byrne. Listed among Time magazine's 100 People Who Shape the World, her book The Secret has repopularized the spiritual belief in the law of attraction and positive thinking. After the death of her father in 2004, Byrne became very depressed. At the instigation of her daughter Haley, she read The Science of Getting Rich 1910 by Wallace D. Wattles. She discovered positive thinking, the laws of attraction, and how to find further success in life. Hence, she started doing research on the subject and the project of The Secret was born. According to Byrne's research, she claims that all great men in history knew about the laws of attraction, suggesting Abraham Lincoln, Ludwig van Beethoven, Winston Churchill and others. What do you think of our list? Which of the leader inspires you the most? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.